So, like, right before we go on the air, I'm kicking back, I'm getting all the links ready and everything, and I was just on Twitter, and I was just seeing some of the activity that was going on from some of our Twitter followers, and I see the most hilarious fucking image, and I couldn't think of a better way to kick off the show. I see this image, I don't know who made it, but you see this image of Peyton Manning of the Denver Broncos. He's standing next to Papa John. And you have Joe Montana, all right? You all know Joe Montana. Come on now. So anyway, you see the caption by Peyton Manning. He goes, "Why does Joe only show up during the playoffs?" And Papa John says to Peyton, "Maybe because you never do." Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, I love that.
As we showed you earlier on the Now, breaking news, the Broncos one and done in the playoffs, a shocking home loss to the Colts yesterday, and just over an hour ago, the announcement came, John Fox is out as head coach of the Denver Broncos. 7 Sports anchor Arn Anderson joins me now, and Arn, from Super Bowl contenders yesterday morning to a franchise absolutely blowing up this afternoon. John Elway didn't waste any time, and we said that this morning. There was no way. If he's going to get rid of Fox, he had to do it today so that this franchise can move on.
It reminds me of a line from Anchorman, which is that escalated quickly.
Boy, did
Here
it
we
ever.
are. I mean, we're talking 24 hours.
Right.
This is a complete overhaul of the coaching staff. By the way, we also have 17 free agents who are now turning around going, wait a minute, if I re-sign with the Broncos, who am I playing for? I mean, this is an unbelievable turn of events.
We also have Peyton Manning saying last night, I can't tell you I'm coming back now. He's going to wait until he sees who's running this team before Peyton Manning decides to come back.
Yeah.
As I said, completely blown up this afternoon.
Well, you would think that Peyton Manning would want some continuity. That
Right.
would mean offensive coordinator Adam Gase would have maybe the inside track at this job. We're hearing reports that he's going to be in San Francisco tonight interviewing with the Niners for the second time. And, oh, by the way, Jack Del Rio, who's the defensive coordinator, he's reportedly in Oakland.
Right.
So the two remaining top-tier coaches within the Broncos are in the Bay Area looking at other jobs as we speak.
Exactly. And there were reports coming out of Dove Valley that the other assistant coaches have been told, you're free to look for another job as well. So
Right.
everybody, the whole coaching staff could be gone. Now, the Broncos, I think they should hire Adam Gase just because he's the hot candidate. If he goes to San Fran as success, we're going to be like, wow, we had him right here. Why didn't we lock him up?
Right.
Gary Kubiak's been mentioned, but he said yesterday he's staying with Baltimore. That could change if Elway calls him.
That's
Dan
right.
Quinn, the Seahawks DC, he's also a very popular candidate. But as of now, nobody knows.
Yeah, I think we're all up in the air. And like you say, Adam Gase is a guy he's in the building already. He has
Right.
a relationship with Peyton Manning. And we're talking about a 38-year-old who's on the fence, waffling about whether or not he wants to come back. I would think that would make the most sense if, indeed, Peyton is going to remain a Bronco.
Right. All right, Arn. Quiet day at Dove Valley, huh?
Yeah.
All right, thanks for joining us.
All right, you're checking out Tuesday night edition of the RCWR show. We are back. Yeah, man, I mean, I must admit, when I was watching that game the other night between the Colts and the Denver Broncos, and all my years of watching Peyton Manning, I mean, Peyton just did not show up. I wasn't sure what was going on with the guy. I don't know if he was distracted. He had some things on his mind, or quite honestly, maybe it just was not his night. I don't know what it was, but in either case, the Peyton that we're used to seeing did not show up that Sunday. And I mean, to hear the people in Denver actually boo him right before the end of the first half there. I mean, it was like, wait a minute, who are they booing now? What the fuck is going on, Insane. Freaking insane. But, I mean, it really, when you just listen to that little piece that we played for you guys, I mean, you hear John Fox is now out as the head coach of the Denver Broncos. Honestly, I think he should have been able to hold on to his job a little while longer. I thought he did really good with all the arsenals that was given to him. I thought he did a damn good job. And I'm hoping that this is something that's not going to come back to bite John Elway in the ass. I mean, you know, it's really unfortunate, but now that you get the coach out of the way, and, you know, now you're trying to figure out who you're going to keep. You know, that offensive line is going to be very, very interesting, because that's really going to determine whether or not Peyton is going to come back. And, I mean, when you think about how long he's been in the league, which has been for 17 years now, 38 years of age, he only has one Super Bowl championship to his credit. You know, part of me would love to see him win one more and just ride off into the sunset that way. You know, but I don't know, man. I can only imagine that each year that goes past, when you're in your late 30s, it just becomes more and more difficult, especially when you got to do the training camp. You got to get your body in tip-top shape and all that. You know, you got to get the cardio in there and all that. All that. You know, do you really want to go through that pretty much for another year? You know, I don't know. You know, if we've seen the last of Peyton Manning, I'd be mad. I would be mad, because that last image that I have in my head of that game from the weekend, that's not how I want to see Peyton go out. I want to see him go out, but most importantly, go out in a way where even if he loses, at least he can stand there on a podium and say he gave it his all. You know, the entire team gave it their all, but they just came up short. You know what I'm saying? Not, oh, we got our asses whooped by like 2-3 touchdowns. You know, not that shit, you know? So who knows what the future holds? I know this is definitely going to be a story that is just going to continue to develop as time goes on.